Joking.
He's not.
I am. Anyway, welcome back, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is Series 2 of Golf, Goals and Grapplers.
They've let us back.
We are back. We are not banned. We have had a little bit of a hiatus. We had a little bit of a break. We smashed through 12 incredible episodes during Series 1. If you haven't seen all the episodes in Series 1, go check them out. We had a little bit of a break. We thought we'll give our viewers and listeners a break, but we are back in town for Series 2.
All 75 viewers.
And that is a fair point, actually. Some of our views have absolutely started to rocket.
I wonder if that's because we had a bit of hiatus.
Probably.
Maybe they missed us a little bit.
Gives chance for people to catch up.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
we was putting out too much footage.
Yeah, too much content for
Maybe,
people to get
yeah.
their teeth into.
I mean, I'm not sure anyone misses me, but maybe people do.
They don't.
Thanks,
Chris, can you put a tiny violin over that little bit?
Oh,
when
God, I
we
know. He's
publish
such a
this?
victim, isn't he?
Yeah.
Stop being a victim.
Can we identify a massive change?
Can we? Yeah. There's been an upgrade to the set.
Well, yeah, I mean, there is that. Look at that. Beautiful picture.
Yeah, we've
Which
upgraded
is-
the set. I say we. Bullis has bought a table.
And a rug.
And a rug.
And a
Me and
rug.
Chris have done absolutely nothing to the set, but Bullis has obviously been busy in the last 3 weeks.
I would even go as far as to say there's a bit of a woman's touch here. It's almost like there's a woman that's come into the life and sort of said, you need a bit of character, you need a bit of fluff.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, no one has to tell me I need a bit of character. I think Stevie Wonder can fucking see that.
Need a bit more fluff on that head though.
Ooh,
Fucking heck at you,
not
mate.
sure about that.
Heck at you. I got this trimmed especially.
What was you going to say anyway? Was you going to comment on Christian's fucking do-rag head?
Side parting.
Mate,
You look like Bobby Charlton.
haircut day tomorrow. So my hair's a bit wild at the minute, so it's going in whatever direction it wants
It's
to.
wild. You've got hair like Mr. Bean. I mean,
Do you know,
I've got to say, I like
with
your
those glasses on, you look like, do you know them things that you buy when you want to be in disguise that's got the nose and the glasses and the tash on? That's what you look
This
like.
dash is real.
Yeah, is it real?
Yeah, it's real.
No,
That's
it's not.
what-
It's stuck on.
real. It's
But
real.
you look like fucking Mr. Potato Head.
I thought I looked really sophisticated. This is to show that I'm actually intelligent. I'm
Do you know
I'm not just the daft lad on the pod.
Do you know what? I could take you seriously if you're wearing a suit, but with your hair like that and your glasses like that, and then you've got joggers on, I can't take you serious.
Digging the gilet though, mate. I love a gilet.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of
Is it a body warmer or is it a gilet? Or are they two different things?
I don't know. I think they're the same thing, although I will say, like, if I'm playing golf, it's a gilet.
Gilet.
And if I'm rocking around town, it's a body warmer.
It's a
Gilet
gilet.
sounds better, doesn't it?
Of course it does. French.
I'd have said a
Anything French
gilet.
sounds good,
A
doesn't it?
gilet is a thin layer, and a body warmer is a thicker layer. But the
that's
same
a good
style.
point. This is actually really thin, but it's warm.
See,
Yeah.
I've been developing
I mean,
knowledge.
that knowledge of clothing should guarantee us a Nike sponsorship deal. And
Exactly.
I'm all for it.
I'll take Nike
Yeah,
yeah.
all day.
exactly.
So what's changed about this pod? Series 2? Is been any fundamental change? Or are we just going
There
to
is.
talk about the same shit?
Obviously, Bullis is invested in the set.
Yeah.
Heavily.
Yep, we're going to do some different type of content as well as part of Series 2. So we're going to do a few break 90s, a few scrambles out on the golf course.
Well, hang on.
Weather
Can I-
pending.
Can I just stop you there?
Yeah.
We're talking break 90s.
Yeah, he was playing the scrambles, not in the break 90s.
He's done about front 9 and back 9.
I mean, you could.
I'll break 90 on the front 9.
No, my aim. This is my personal aim. I'm sure Chris will agree with this. Is to get you to break 100 while someone else is there.
I mean, that'd be nice.
That's not my aim. My aim is to like just be on a road trip somewhere and just rag all his clothes off him and kick him out in Wales or something. That's my aim. That's what I really want to do. But
There's no chance.
golf as well.
I'm
yeah.
stronger than you.
Yeah, golf as well.
Yeah.
So there's obviously we're going to mix it up with a bit of golf. Obviously, if the weather's good enough, we're going to get out and film some golf footage. We put a little break 90 on the other day during our little holiday period, but also we started it at the end of Series 1 and people really liked it. So at the end of each podcast, there's going to be like a little segment that's a different task or a game or a challenge or whatever. So we're going to add that into the back end of episodes. So even if we've got like, I don't know, like the girls out there who don't particularly like us droning on about the Premier League, then obviously you'll know that the last 20 minutes of this episode will be, a nice little fun segment.
Yeah,
There you
tune
go.
into that at
There you
least.
go.
Yeah. So
This episode is also sponsored by Brewdog Blackheart. Once again, we've got an official.
Unofficially.
We've got an official, unofficial sponsor.
hang on a minute, is it unofficial or is it official?
It's officially unofficial.
Right, okay.
It's
Fine.
whatever you want it to be.
Whatever you want it to be.
It's our pod.
No rules.
It's our
Okay.
pod. We'll do what the fuck we want.
Okay. So, anyway, we're back. It's episode 1, and in true fashion, Golf Goals and Grapplers, it's episode 1. I think it's that time of the season. We're 10 games in.
I thought you were going to
We
start talking
need-
about Formula One then.
No, definitely not Formula 1.
Sorry.
We need to
with
do a bit of an in-season review of the Premier League. How is it going so far? Who's surprised you? Who's definitely not surprised you? We'll talk about all of that. We'll talk about all the Premier League. Might even be a little bit of Champions League as well.
Yeah.
We'll have a quick look at how we're performing in our own fantasy teams as well. I think that would be quite interesting to talk about where we've absolutely car crashed that and whether we've still got a shout at we're getting some money. And then I think we'll just talk about some wider football shit as well.
I've got a question for you boys to start with.
Go for
here
it.
we go.
It's a legitimate question. Is the Man United job an impossible job?
It's not impossible, but it's a bit
Yeah.
of a poison ivy in it.
I think it doesn't help that Ten Hag's come in and brought half of Ajax with him, because that just doesn't work, does it? When you bring a load of players from your old club, it's like moving jobs and taking your whole backroom staff with you. It just doesn't work all the time.
Is that why Christian didn't take you?
Exactly,
Christian
yeah.
take you.
Yeah, it just wouldn't work. Different job, different area, just wouldn't work, would it?
Yeah,
Chris?
I'm after talent this time.
He got stuck with me last
I'm
time.
not after bums on seats. I'm after talent.
But no, I don't think it's a poison chalice or an impossible job. I just think the recruitment's been really poor. It doesn't seem like there's any sort of team connection there that you get with your City teams, your Liverpool teams, even your Arsenals, Spurs. There seems to be a togetherness there of a club and a core. Where at Man United, it just doesn't seem to be that.
It's just where talent goes to die.
Yeah.
They sign some serious talent.
Yeah.
And this is in the last 4 or 5 years. This isn't just Ten Hag era.
No.
But they've signed a lot of serious talent that just go there to die.
Yeah.
Sancho, Anthony, Mount.
I feel sorry for Sancho, to be fair. I really do. I know he came out and called Ten Hag a liar, and I get that because he basically criticised him when he said about his training.
I find all this weird, right? Because like in a normal 9-to-5 job, imagine being put in a corner like that in your own job because of something. HR would be all over them in 2 seconds. It just wouldn't happen, would it? How can somebody, just because they're at a football club and they get paid X amount of money, how can that even happen in
Yeah,
any
that sounds
job?
wild. Is that being corroborated or is that just rumours?
No, it's true.
I
It's
mean,
true.
if you were Sancho, you would just fucking.
You wouldn't put up with it, would you?
Well, I mean,
There's nothing he can do.
You
is there?
either
Get
don't
yourself a
put up with
contract,
it
Someone else will pay.
and you strike, and then for you're in contravene of your contract, so you're not going to get your 200 grand a week, or you fucking eat a bit of pack up and train with the reserves for 200 grand a week. Like, what are you doing?
I know what you mean. Yeah, from
Course you are.
from that financial
You're cashing your
perspective,
check, aren't you?
So here's a question then, still on Jadon Sancho. Would you have Jadon Sancho at Liverpool? And if not, where does he fit?
It depends on what circumstance, how much we're paying for him. Like, is it a free? Are we paying 80 million? What
No, you won't pay 80 million for him now. You'd probably pay. They'd be lucky to get 30 million for him.
I'd take him for 30 mil because I think he's the type of player that someone like Klopp would get the best out of.
Don't need him.
We don't. Well,
It's not that we need him, but would you have him?
Barely to warm the bench like an Oxlade Chamberlain type of person right now.
Really, that bad?
Yeah, well, I just think he's absolutely. I mean, he went away for a break because of his mental health. He stacked the weight on. He's obviously mentally not in a good place. Like I want his baggage at the minute. And Liverpool are very good at not really taking what you would call players with baggage.
Yeah.
I think the worst one really was when we got desperate and took Balotelli. Other than that, we don't take baggage players. So I just don't think
Fair
he's the
point.
right fit for Liverpool at all.
So in that case, then, where does he fit? If he's going to move in January, where does he fit?
Chelsea for 400 million.
yeah.
No, I think where he would fit, I still think he could probably work in a Champions League team, but I'd think he might be better off going to Spain or Italy or back to Germany for a
He
couple
might
of
be
years.
the type of player that, like, a bit like Salah, went from Chelsea to Roma and reignited his
Yeah.
career and then got to move to Liverpool. He's going to have to do something like that now. He goes to somewhere that's a decent enough club, like Chris says, he's in Champions League, he's got good quality football, but isn't at the pinnacle.
I was thinking about this today, and I see him at Spurs.
Do you?
Yeah. They've got a massive hole on their left side because Richarlison does nothing. Jadon Sancho could easily fit that. Postecoglou will get the best out of him when we come to Spurs. I'm sure we'll touch on them in a minute. But he'll get the best out of him. He's got mates around him in James Maddison and other English lads, and that looks like a very, very good club to be around. I could see him really fitting in at Spurs, and then him giving a massive, massive push to their
He could
Champions
be
League.
the next Dele Alli, though.
It could, yeah.
He could just be massive talent that never really realises it as well.
Yeah.
Can I talk broader then? Can
Go
we
for it.
talk about sort of, we're 10 games into the season, so a quarter away into the title race. You're looking at Spurs are leading the way.
Yep.
With Arsenal closely behind, Man City and Liverpool tucked right in behind. So there's nothing between the top four.
No.
Has the first quarter of the season gone how you expected it? Has anyone surprised you? Has anyone underachieved? Has anyone overachieved?
So not only have Spurs been a bit lucky, they've also surprised me. I didn't think Postecoglou would hit the ground running the way that he has and got everyone playing the way that he's got them playing. Yes, they've got no European football, which massively helps, but they've really surprised me. I'll tell you who hasn't surprised me.
Are they overachieving when you look at their
Yes.
squad
Yeah,
currently?
massive,
You think
massive.
they're overachieving? Do you think they'll fade?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
They'll. So Son's going to go to the Asian Games in January and miss 6 to 8 weeks unless they bring someone else in. Where do they get goals from?
I think Spurs at the minute are riding that wave of new manager, new feeling around the ground. Obviously,
Madison's hit the ground
Madison's
running.
hit the
Yeah,
ground
yeah.
running, great signing. I think sometimes when a big player like Kane leaves as well, that centre of attention around the team isn't there anymore. So you start to see a lot more from the team in terms of the contribution as well. So I think they're feeling that a little bit at the minute. But I would imagine they will start to fade at some point. Maybe after Christmas, they'll start to fade a little bit.
Look at Sheffield United when they were 1-0 down with added time to go and they won 2-1. I know it's Sheffield United, but they ground out a result against Luton. They got a draw against Arsenal.
I think there's two ways you could look at this though. Like they've ground out a result against Luton. You got lucky. Like you should have drawn that match.
Yeah. No,
You
that's
should
what I mean.
you should have obviously because of the VAR thing. You should have drawn the Liverpool match.
Yep.
Yeah.
So really, they would be sort of 5th, 6th, and then all of a sudden you'd be saying, "Yeah, that's about right for Spurs."
And that's the thing.
After 2 games,
And that's the thing that they're overachieving. They're overachieving
because they're
with,
winning games.
with where they're at now.
Yeah,
But with the squad that they've got, which is so thin, it's pretty impressive. With a new manager completely changing how they play
That's
football
what I
as
was
well.
going to add to it as well in terms of their squad. They're in a very a position that I guess Liverpool were in a couple of years ago, where their first 11 is strong across the park, but as soon as you start to miss 1 or 2 players, their squad depth isn't quite there. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that's going to come off that bench that's going to change a game
yeah.
for them.
As well, though, you go from Mourinho and Conte, 2 awful managers from an attacking point of view, to completely doing a 180 and bringing in a guy who did well at Celtic, and you're thinking, oh, he ain't going to do that great. And they play really good football, football that you like watching. But one club I do want to mention, because I bigged these up at the start of the season, Aston Villa.
Right.
I think they've been very, very impressive.
Yeah, but they're where that we all expected them to be, which is 5th, 6th. Like that's where they'll finish. That's just them.
5th is Champions League, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know.
So realistically,
That's got to be the goal for them.
oh, absolutely, yeah. And if they don't get the Champions League through finishing 5th, then they're going to potentially win the European Conference League.
I think they'll probably battle it out with Newcastle for that final Champions League spot in 5th. I
Yeah.
think they'll battle it out. I think when we can go back to one of our episodes where we guessed the Premier League table and how it finished, one of our very first episodes,
Yeah.
I think I undercut Liverpool a bit because I had Liverpool sneaking into 4th, but actually that midfield rebuild has happened much quicker than I expected it to.
Yeah.
I thought Klopp's done another incredible job to reinvent that team.
And that's with McAllister playing out of position.
Yeah.
And you've got you're trying to integrate McAllister, Endo, Soboslai, Gravenberch, integrate 4 or 5 midfielders into that midfield.
Oh, it's and hit the ground running because we said earlier you lose 2 or 3 games because of City, you're out the title race.
Yeah.
So to build an entire midfield like that in a summer is some doing. That's incredible. I mean, I'll get onto Zoboslai in a minute, but Gravenberch is an absolute Rolls Royce.
Yeah, he looks class.
What a
doesn't he?
player he is.
He looks really good. And to be honest with you, I think the only negative about our midfield is the fact that McAllister is playing that position, because I've said this to you boys a few times. He looks way off it.
Yeah,
in
he's
that
underwhelming,
position.
isn't he?
He's passing. He's got that eye for detail for passing, but his passing's been so wayward. He loses the ball. He's not fast enough to get the ball back as well in that position. He's just not a number 6. He's not a defensive midfielder, and he loses a lot of his qualities there. But at the same time, while we're integrating, the Endo looked really good in the Carabao Cup the other night.
Well, this is
He
what I was
looked
going to
really
say.
strong.
It looks
If
good
you-
in
if you-
Europe as well.
If you're
Yeah.
playing a team, let's say you're playing against another top four, you're playing against City,
Yeah.
right? I think you play Gravenberch and Endo.
Yeah.
But if you play teams where you know you're going to have 80% of the ball, you're only playing one of them and you're playing McAllister more as an advanced 6. He's not an 8 because Zoboslai's an 8 all day long.
Yeah.
But I think it depends who you're playing.
We seem to be forgetting, though, by Chetic, who's still injured, he's that number 6.
A lovely player.
Great.
But
Is
he's undersized.
I think at the
He's
minute
Yeah.
we need to start playing Endo every game. Endo needs to be that defensive midfielder with a combination of either Gravenberch and Sloboslai or Sloboslai and McAllister.
How good is Zoboslai?
He's class, isn't he?
He
What a
just
player.
oozes class, doesn't
When
he?
when you think about, again, going back to Man United for a minute, they paid 65 million for or 60 million for Mason Mount. We paid exactly the same for Szoboszlai, and the difference is night and day. And I know it's the clubs and I know it's the situation and stuff like that, but the difference in class is night and day.
Do you know what annoys me? I saw a stat saying, "Oh, you're all you Liverpool fans are raving about Zoboslai. 1 goal, no assists. He's the player before the assist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why them stats are bullshit because he runs the game.
Yeah.
He creates the creative pass that then squares it for the goal.
So interesting you say that. And this goes to what we were talking about and what we've said before about Darwin Núñez. Again, I know you hate Darwin Núñez. His goal
Hate
the other-
strong.
this goal the other night was class. And it was typical Núñez that he miscontrols the first touch.
Yeah.
And then he just whips in an absolute screamer.
Exactly.
And he's got 8 goals this season already.
Yeah.
His
Stats
stats
stack
don't lie.
up.
His
Stats
assists
are great.
He's got 14 goals and assists
Yeah.
already this season, and I think he's still got a lot of development to do in terms of that quality of touch. But his finishing is getting much better. He's getting in the positions. He's a game changer. When he comes on, I get excited to see him come on because I know he's going to do something, whether it's something really bad or something really good, he's going to do something. And I just think he's a top striker. I'm looking forward.
He's
to
not a
see-
top striker. He's a good striker, but you can't say he's a top striker, can you?
I don't think there are many top strikers in the Premier League apart from Erling Haaland.
I wouldn't. Yeah, when I'm
Top
saying,
number 9s you're talking.
Yeah, you're probably right. Top's a little bit too much because if you're looking at top striker, you're looking at someone like Haaland. He's not at that level, nowhere near that level. But I think with the players around him, people like Szoboszlai, Salah, Trent feeding him,
He's
only
going to
gonna
get chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And look, you say I hate him. I don't hate him. I've just said he's technically very poor and he's ragged. And you're right. That goal on Wednesday night sort of epitomised him in a nutshell, which was he completely miscontrolled the ball, but then did a weldy goal.
And you hear the Bournemouth crowd be like, yay, as if to say, look, mate, you shit. And then he just stands up the defender, whips it over the keeper, and you're thinking, where the fuck did that come
Yeah.
from? And he's just so good.
Yeah.
Can I move on from Liverpool?
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit before we get on to Chelsea? Because I predicted them to finish second.
Yes, I think
Yeah,
I did
I
as well.
did.
I think
Yeah.
we all had them to bounce back this season. But can we talk a little bit about Arsenal, right? Because the last few weeks they've started to look a bit shaky. They've got the thing going off with the keeper at the minute, but they're second and they haven't lost a game. So, like, what's your feedback on Arsenal's start to the season?
For me, I just feel like Arsenal have just kind of gone under the radar a little bit. They've not done anything amazing. They've not done anything that's been shite. It's just they've just won games. They're just plodding
Yeah.
along. They're just going through the motions. They've not really done anything to highlight.
Yeah,
I think under the radar is probably a good way to put it because Martinelli's not really done a great deal. Saka's not really done a great deal. And if you take those two out of the team, I know Jesus is out for a while. If they get a couple of injuries in that midfield, it's a completely different team. And you saw that the other night against West Ham, where they changed the team and it was a completely... They still had some first team players in there. But if you take some of those first team players out, they're struggling.
yeah. I mean, we know that they're thin, and that told back end of last season, innit? But I did expect them, and they might do. I mean, look, the top 5 is so tight that you lose a game and you're 5th.
Yeah.
So I still expect Arsenal to drop into the pack around sort of 3rd, 4th, 5th.
What is the situation with their keepers at the minute? I know they obviously got 2 keepers in. Ramsdale played the other night in the cup, didn't he?
Yeah,
And Ray is playing in the Premier League. But what has there been a fallout? What have I missed something in that?
It's just dropped Ramsdale because he prefers David Raya, and
it's
everyone's
just
making a
something
meal
that
out of
doesn't
it.
happen at a top club. You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
you have a keeper, you have
Yeah.
a number 1, and they haven't got that, and they caused that issue themselves by buying Raya
Yeah.
mid-season because then that's almost saying we're not quite sure on you, Ramsdale. we're going to buy another top keeper.
I thought Ramsdale was class last year.
You'd
though.
never
played
see
well.
you'd never see Man City drop Edison
No.
for Ortega and be like, yeah, Edison, you just sit on the bench for 8 games because we're not quite sure on you.
Do you know what it is? They bought Raya because, again, Arteta's a little Pep Guardiola clone. They bought Raya because Raya's distribution is better than Ramsdale's. That's, again, essentially why they've made that purchase. But Raya's looked shaky on some games I've
Yeah.
watched
Oh,
him,
yeah.
like
Against
punch out
Chelsea.
thin air and in the crosses and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Even the Man City game, I think it was the Man City game, he looked awful for about 20 to 30 minutes.
self-inflicted by Arsenal, though.
Yeah,
Because you either really clear with Ramsdale and go, you are not number one. We're gonna like offload you because you clearly want to be a number one for somebody.
Yeah.
Because neither of these goalkeepers have come here to be a backup.
No.
So they've created this own little issue for themselves now, I think, that they probably won't resolve all season.
You're absolutely right, though, with Arteta wanting to be a mini Guardiola. And you've seen this with Zinchenko. Zinchenko's playing left back, but he's coming into midfield and you're thinking, just doesn't work. He's not Kyle Walker.
He's not Trent.
He's not Trent. There's a reason Man City let him go, and that is because he's not good enough. He's not good enough to do that job. Because if he was, Man City wouldn't have bought Kovacic and they'd have kept him.
I think you're right, though, Chris. I think it's that clear message because Arteta's come out and said, look, I've got 2 top keepers because you need to have 2 good players in each position and all this type of stuff, which is like all this tactical stuff, which is fine. I get that. But as a keeper, like you said, you don't. As a top club, you need one staple keeper, which is your number one, consistent throughout, and you stick with him.
Yeah.
You don't change a keeper. You can change your midfield, you can change your strikers, you can change your wingers, but you just don't change your goalkeeper. So, yeah, you're right. The whole thing's just a bit weird and
So
might be their
Arsenal are sort of
demise.
flying under the radar, but we're where they expect them to be. We still think they might fade a little bit.
biggest
over
shock in the
Christmas.
biggest shock in the top 4 at the minute is that Man City are the team that's lost the most.
Yeah, but can
Yeah,
I give
that's
you
fair.
a sub-argument to this? The 2 games that they lost, Rodri was suspended for both of them. And I can't underestimate how important that player is to that team.
Yeah.
He is everything to that team. He turns that midfield around from defence to attack. The two games he was suspended, they lost those games.
Yeah.
So my problem with that is, but firstly, you're absolutely right. But my problem with that is, let's say Rodri breaks his leg
Exactly.
and he's out
City
for,
have
and
got
he's
a
out,
problem.
and he's out for 6 months.
I agree. City have got a problem.
Then he can't just go lose it. They can't just lose every game because Rodri. They spent billions, like 1.3 billion, and they can't replace Rodri.
Well, but this is the problem. When you've got a world-class player, you can't replace them if they get injured. Because, you might have top players, 2 top players in every position, but you don't have 2 world-class players in every position.
No,
here.
I absolutely
So
agree.
it's
with
like if Ronaldo got injured for Real Madrid, like you can put someone on right midfield, but you're going to feel it. And I think City are because they let Gundogan go, because they've let Mahrez go, I think City's squad is definitely weaker this season. And you're right, if Rodri got injured, I don't think they'd win the title. That's how big I think he is for that team.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree. Yeah, he's massive. He's massive for that team. He's the linchpin, and if, like you say, if you take him out, they're screwed because they're so easy to get past.
Yeah.
They're so easy to get past, and he doesn't like Calvin Phillips.
Yeah. He's not
Yeah,
sold.
again, that Calvin Phillips purchase was weird, wasn't it? Because he bought him for that cover, but he just doesn't play him. He's clearly not a fan.
He bought him for the cover, and then buys Kovacic, and then plays Rico Lewis in front of him,
Yeah.
What does it tell you?
and John Stones in front
It
of him.
screams it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look,
do you think they missed De Bruyne?
Yeah, massively. I was
Do
just going
you?
to say, De Bruyne coming back would be huge for Haaland.
Yeah.
I mean, Haaland's really struggling, but he's still got something like 8 goals in 10 games or something
Yeah.
like that.
His return's still good, but it's not as.
No. Look, if they keep Rodri fit and De Bruyne comes back in January as planned, I think City will still win the title.
I'm gonna throw another guy in there for City, Jeremy Doku.
Yeah, but he's like a Adama Traore. There's no end product from him.
But
He's great. He's great to watch, but no end product.
He's totally different, though, isn't
He is different to any type of Guardiola player, I agree.
he? And you think, why the hell have they bought him?
I know. He don't fit, does he?
No, but then he's so good because then you think Jack Grealish isn't certain to start, and even if he does start, he's totally different. He just run up players.
They're playing Alvarez and Haaland together, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not really working, but they're getting time
good for
together
FPL.
because De Bruyne is injured. But
Yeah.
so I still think if they get De Bruyne back and Rodri stays fit, they'll still win the title. the unfortunate thing is if City slip up and they get a few injuries like to key players like Rodri or De Bruyne, you would like to think that there's another squad mature enough to sort of slip through and win the title. But I don't think Arsenal are ready.
No.
I think Liverpool maybe need this season, and then they might challenge next season.
And then Spurs aren't ready
That's
either.
the unfortunate thing. I don't think there's another team to be like capitalise on a small chink in City's armour.
I think if there is one out of the three that you're looking at, Spurs, Arsenal, and Liverpool,
Sheffield United.
yeah, them, I think it is Liverpool more than the other two.
I was about to say that.
Just given the squad depth, given the depth up front.
I think Liverpool will have a better run at the title than Arsenal.
Yeah,
Do you
100%.
think?
Diaz, Jota, Gakpo, Nunes, Salah.
Diaz his dad as well. He's available, I think, isn't he?
God.
Oh God.
Oh, God, you're going to hell.
He's going to turn up in WWE on a casket match soon enough, isn't he?
Against my mum.
But yeah, I think I agree. Yeah, Liverpool are looking pretty good now, and I don't know if we've got our rose-tinted glasses on, but they've surprised me. That's all I'm saying.
I think they say the fact that midfield rebuild has kind of gelled and working. I think that's massively helped our start to the season, definitely.
The problem that a lot of teams are going to have is African Cup of Nations is coming up, and the Asian Games are coming up as well
Yeah.
in January. So you're going to have a lot of players missing. Obviously, we're going to lose Salah, who's the biggest one.
yeah, but I think last time how the schedule worked out with the Christmas and all that, I think he ended up missing like two games and a League Cup game.
So looking at, and I read this the other day, they were talking about Onana going back to Cameroon. He's going to miss 7 league games potentially.
Really, I mean that means United will be in a better position.
Well, yeah. Well, to be fair, their backup keeper's Tom Heaton, so they might not be.
Why did they sell? Where do you think he go?
Henderson?
Yeah.
Crystal Palace?
Shocking decision that.
Mm.
Although he wanted first team
There was
football.
talks of getting De Gea back on the free, weren't there?
Yeah.
Is he still a free agent?
Yeah.
That's wild. Why is he still a free agent?
I don't know.
Mind you, he's had 350 grand for 8 years, so you don't
That's
need
probably,
to
need
put
it,
all-
does it?
that's
But-
probably why he's a free
Yeah.
agent.
You
Probably-
think he'd have gone somewhere though?
Probably the same reason Eden Hazard retired.
Thought he might have gone to like Getafe or like
Yeah.
like a
Saudi.
mid-table
Just
mid-table
somewhere.
league.
Yeah, Saudi,
fair
yeah.
point, yeah.
Go Saudi.
Take that Saudi money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the only other big team out of the traditional big six that we haven't discussed yet is Chelsea. Does you want to
Car
discuss
crash.
Chelsea? What the fuck's going on there?
I honestly don't know. I think it's just. I just don't see it working
Chelsea's
for a long time.
Chelsea's biggest 2 players have been missing.
Who?
Chilwell and Reece James.
Reece James is made of glass, though, isn't he?
I don't think Reece James is as influential as you think.
When you put them together, they really work and they really set the team up. And when one of them's fit, the other one's not fit, and vice versa. It'd be like losing Robertson and Trent at the same time, and that's how big they
Yeah.
are for them.
I think the problem we got with Chelsea is the players have gone there not to play for the club; they've gone there to play for money. Like people come to Man City and come to Liverpool because they believe in what the team are doing. They believe in the culture and what they've created over years. Whereas people go to Chelsea because they're the highest bidder. They pay more money
Yeah,
There's
because they'll get to live in London.
and get to live in London. It's
Yeah.
the lifestyle. They're not committed to the club.
Do you
And
know what I see
that.
when I see Chelsea? When I watch Chelsea, you have no identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what's your style of play?
Yeah.
What are you about? Like,
Yeah.
what are you? Like, what's your strengths? Like, you've got no identity. I don't know how you're going to play. I don't know how you're going to set up. I don't know what players are starting.
Yeah.
It's broken at the minute. I know
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
got a very good coach, but he's working with a broken jigsaw
See,
that
I-
he can't put together.
I was going to come to that. Is Pochettino an elite manager?
Not elite manager, no.
No.
I think he's very, very good, but
I
he's
think
not a
good,
top
yeah,
manager.
he's a good coach.
Went to
And-
PSG, couldn't handle the egos there,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
really failed at PSG. Did all right at Spurs, but again, Spurs are Spurs, 3rd, 4th, 5th every season.
Like they finished second to Leicester,
Champions League final
and they
as
got
well.
onto the Champions League final.
He's not elite though. He's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, he's a good manager, but yeah.
The only people I'd put elite is Pep, Klopp, and Ancelotti.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They're the only
current
coaches in the world I
crop,
put
yeah.
as your top elite.
agree.
not Paul Heckingbottom.
No.
Are there any other teams that have surprised you, or anything else about the Premier League that has surprised you?
There's 3 teams that have definitely not surprised us all, which is the bottom 3.
I was about to say the bottom 3 look just as you would expect.
Do you know what? Luton haven't been as bad as I thought.
The fact they're not bottom is a surprise.
I had Sheffield United bottom in my predictions.
you?
I had
Yeah, I
Luton
think
Luton
I
as
think I
19th.
did. To be fair, but Luton haven't been smashed by teams.
Yeah. Do you know? Do you know what surprised me? But in a bad way.
Burnley.
I thought Burnley would take some points,
Yeah.
and they're not taking
No,
points.
they're
I
garbage.
think you boys had Bournemouth quite high as well, didn't you?
I had Burnley to stay up.
Did you? Because Bournemouth are teetering on the edge as
I
well.
didn't have Burnley to stay up.
I did. I had Burnley to stay up. I'm sure I had Bournemouth to be the third team to go down.
Yeah.
I-
Did you?
I-
I thought when someone had him quite high.
To be fair,
Might have been me.
I could have
Yeah.
I could have had Burnley to stay up, but I think I had Everton to go down.
Look, I think there's so far to go that nothing's a done deal at this stage in any position. But I think that them three championship teams that came up, they're in
Yeah.
for a long season, mate.
I think when you look at, you can easily split the table into four. You've got the top four with Villa just lingering about there.
What about Newcastle? We haven't spoke
I
about
was just about to
Newcastle.
say, yeah, I was about to
Well,
come on to Newcastle, definitely.
I think Newcastle could potentially fade at this point because they've got Champions League, they've got a lot of injuries, and they've got so many games in a short space of time that they've got no players.
Yeah.
I think the point where you would expect them to be out the sixth at the minute. I think
We
they're
said they would
Yeah,
fade
yeah.
this season
Yeah.
back into like trying to get for the Champions
Yeah.
League.
I
But then
don't-
you
I-
said this 5 and I was like, oh well, they might get in then.
I don't think they're going to push, certainly for the top four. They might push for fifth. But at the minute, you've got the top 5, then you've got 6 down to 12th or 11, 12 down to 16, and then the bottom 4.
Yeah, we know how the league works, mate.
No, I'm
Thanks for that.
fucking missed
So
you.
you've got
Fucking missed you
got
too.
like the top 20 who are in the Prem,
Fucking
and then you've got like 24. The
They're
next
in the
24.
league below, which
We'll
is called
call
the
that the Championship.
Championship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we know
yeah.
how football leagues work, mate.
You're a cunt.
Yay! The first C word on Series 2. Who had 34 minutes in?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Did I
34
do that
minutes
well?
in.
But yeah, I think that the quality of the league, you can split into those 4. Yeah, we know how the league works.
Last bit on the league then. Do you know what's been the biggest shocker? Is the fact that Man United are now playing Evans and Maguire as their centre back
Wild.
partnership.
I feel like I'm in a time warp.
Yeah.
The fact I
I've
can't
got
believe
like
Evans starts
2014.
games.
But,
Like,
I mean,
that is mental.
In fairness, Varane was on the bench. He's coming back. He was on the bench, so he'll probably come back in the weekend, which will replace Evans.
Needs to.
Maguire was going to get replaced by Martinez. He's
Martinez
not
is
far
out.
off. Is he? How long's he? He's not.
New Year.
Who's not far off as well in defence though? Is it Wan-Bissaka?
Yeah, Wan-Bissaka
He came
came
on in
back.
the second half, so they're getting players back.
By all
So
accounts, I think Maguire's not done too bad, has he? He got a goal the other week.
an own goal for England against Scotland. Yeah,
No, I'm sure he bagged an header for United recently.
that's
yeah,
not his job though,
Champions
mate,
League.
is it?
I know, but
His
was
job's
that
to
Champions League, was
defend.
it?
His job is to defend.
Yeah.
Man, do you
Feel
know
a bit
what?
sorry
right?
for Maguire.
Man U is an absolute shit show of a club.
Yeah.
It's an absolute shocking club. Unless I know they're bringing this sort of technical advisor person in. That's probably the demise of Ten Hag, by the way, because Ten Hag obviously don't want this person to come in and shake things up. And there was talk today anyway on TalkSport that apparently Ten Hag's days are numbered as well. That apparently it's rumoured that he will actually get the sack, which I think is the wrong decision.
I do
I
as
think
well.
it's the wrong decision as well. However,
However, you can't sack 24 players.
he spent
Yeah, true. But you can't. You got to have a bit of stability in the club. You can't keep replacing
Yeah, but
managers.
you say this, right? But think about the professional world, right? When stuff starts to go wrong at your work, who are the first people that are accountable?
Yeah.
And that's the problem in life is the manager or the middle managers, they're accountable.
Yeah.
So I've got some more stats for you.
Oh, here we go.
I've been revising.
Fucking
Sounds
stat
like
man.
it. Are these good stats though? these
Yeah.
ones?
Eric Ten Hag has spent 415 million
Yeah, I saw that
in
today.
18 months. How many of those players that he's brought in?
Yeah, but what's his net though? Didn't he sold someone for like 200 grand, I think. One of the best, one of the reserves. So you got to net that off.
You got to take that off. Yeah.
So,
Give him
yeah.
some credit.
Yeah,
410.8 million.
Yeah. So his net's 410.8 billion. But how many of those players would get in other big clubs? Would get in other big Premier League sides?
Who's he bought then? So he's
Anthony, 85,
I don't
85
get
million.
Anthony. I don't get what he is.
Mount.
San-
from a twat.
Martinez.
Martinez, I hate him.
These are all players that would get in a team that want to finish third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Yeah.
Onana, Amrabat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Amrabat's absolutely
Yeah.
dreadful, isn't he?
The problem you've got with United is because they've still got the we're Man United, that's why you're paying 50, 60, 70, 80 million for average players.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's the problem that you're in. Everyone's in that problem now. But yeah, I think Man United are shocking. Talking is shocking. Shall we talk about Fantasy Premier League?
What a segue. You've been practicing that in the mirror.
How are you
The
getting on?
Book of Bullis.
Yeah.
How are you getting on, boys, in your leagues? How many leagues you in? Give us an update on your
Shite.
teams.
I'll start. So this doesn't sound like I'm doing too well, but I'll explain. So I'm 32nd
How many teams?
in a 48.
A 48-team league is class.
Yeah, but
32nd.
He's 32nd. No, I'm saying that the fact
The
that there's
fact
a
that
league
there's
with
that many-
48 teams in on
so the money in
fantasy
that
class.
is massive in terms
Yeah,
of if you
yeah.
win. But I'm 32nd, but I've had a good couple of weeks. I've risen because I was actually down near the bottom for a number of weeks, and I'm only about 50 points off the top.
So
That's how from 32nd to first, there's about 50 points in it.
So you're in that league.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
48 teams. What position are you in that league?
Let me
What
have a look.
position is Bullis out of 48?
Ooh. All right, well, I've come to you first. You're 18th.
I'm 18th out of 48.
Yeah.
So that means I'm below you.
Let's have a look where you are.
I had a look at this. This is funny. What out of 48 teams? Where's Bullis?
Oh, I get it.
Here we go.
48.
Hey, look.
It's fucking dead rock bottom.
Oh,
Look.
well, someone's got to prop it up, haven't they?
Look, can't be awesome at everything, can you, boys?
Oh, class.
Should have named your team Sack of Shit, not Sack of Potatoes.
I saw that on weekend and I thought, we're about to do a pod. I'm definitely bringing this up.
I thought you
out
would.
of 48, he's 48th.
How many points am I behind?
So, how many points behind you? You're 75 behind me at 32nd.
All
So,
Yeah, that's all right.
you're well off,
that's,
mate.
That's
No,
one
no.
entire game week.
No, there's still time to come back. Don't worry about it.
So, Chris,
Yeah,
look at
he
you
was.
then. You're only about 15 points ahead of me at 18th.
Yeah, no, it's very tight.
It's very
mid-table.
tight from top to 32nd.
That's what she said.
Not
Yeah.
from 48th. It's not tight at all.
It's all good.
So yeah. So I'm still hoping. I'm still hopeful on that one.
When I finish both of you at the end of the season, I'll be
No,
rubbing
mate.
it in your faces.
Are you in any
Not
other
again.
leagues?
I don't know where I am in that league because I'm currently recording.
Come on. Christian, are you in any other leagues?
Am I in any other leagues? I'm in. Yeah, another one that I'm 10th in. Out of
Out of
21.
Out of 21, that's not bad.
Yeah.
You're a mid-table
Mid-
player. you are.
mid-table.
Table player, but again with that one,
He's a
I'm
trier.
only 49 points off the top.
Yeah, but the problem you've got now is that's a whole game week. So you need the people at the top to be getting 30 points, and you need to be getting like 50, 60, 70
This
for a
is
couple of weeks.
this is
on
the thing
bounce.
with me now.
You're out. You're out of it now.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you're
it's
done.
okay.
You're done. Yeah.
I'll probably look at him, totally forget about it,
Sack it off.
and then I think, yeah, fuck it. I'll have a look and I'll make some transfers and stuff. But yeah, no fucking
You're
point.
not
now.
going to labour over it, are you?
Nah, I don't give a shit.
Well, my midfield is immense, which means the rest of my team is actually quite poor.
I think I've got Vicario, Son, and Haaland.
I've got Son, Saka, Salah, Neto,
Yeah, I had Neto, but
He Huang, Haaland. That's where all my money's gone. My
Yeah.
defence and my other striker is dog.
Well, my top three strikers are the top three. So I've got Haaland, Alvarez, and Watkins.
Yeah, but you didn't for a while. You didn't have.
yeah, you didn't. Your
you
team
didn't
at
have
the beginning,
someone in there.
Your team at the beginning of the season was shit.
Did you either go for
Remember it
Salah and
was.
not Haaland, or Haaland and not Salah? You didn't put them both in,
You
did
didn't
you?
put Haaland in first.
No, I think I did because the rest of my team was really shit, wasn't it? So I think I had Haaland and Salah in, and that's where most of my money had gone. And my rest of my team was built up with players that were kind of.
In fairness,
Shit.
I didn't start with Salah. I started with
Did you
Haaland,
not?
and I brought Salah in around week 4.
I don't think I've got Salah in.
I
I've
don't
got
think
Son.
you have got Salah in.
I've got Son and Haaland.
Do you know what though? Someone else in one of my other leagues, they triple captained Watkins last week
Yeah,
on a single game
great
week
shout.
and got 6 points.
Fucking hell.
All the other game weeks, he's been
That's
stacking
yeah.
the
that's
points.
that's the differential, isn't it? If you can pick a triple captain right
double
on
game
somebody
week. Double game week,
that's
mate.
not Haaland or Salah or someone like that, then you're absolutely laughing.
Exactly. But do you know what though? I don't do it to the level where I look at trends of points or
No,
where they're
same.
ranked or anything. I look at a player and I think, I like them. I'll pick them.
Yeah, I just
That's
think.
it.
Yeah.
I just think. Are you playing well?
Don't
Yeah.
care enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you in the team?
Yeah, I don't care.
My
did-
defenders are they fullbacks? I'm always looking at winger like fullbacks. So
Yeah.
you can get up and down assists.
I did put James Ward-Prowse in my team, and now he started playing shit.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
had Jared Bowen in my team, and I took him out because he wasn't scoring, and then he scored in 6 away games in a row.
I've got Bowen in. That's my
I've got
that's my
Bowen in
fifth
mine.
midfielder.
Fucking shite.
That's what I mean. We know a lot of it's luck. I think so. What am I in that big league? I'm 18th. And I'm only in one more league, and I'm first in that league. But that's it. I'm only in 2 leagues. I'm normally in 4 or 5 leagues
Yeah,
a
I'm
year.
only in 2 this year.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. Obviously, the one we're in the 4-team league, and then I'm in a work one as well. But
And do you know what I do every time? I forget to do my team when there's a Friday night Prem game.
yeah.
Every time. I did it the other week. I didn't change my
Killer,
team.
innit?
Yeah.
Absolute killer.
Yeah.
Last thing on this, Salah. What's your verdict on him this year? Because again, for me, he hasn't lit it up, but he's still consistently scoring, assisting. He's involved in
He's a
everything.
machine.
Yeah,
But he's not
he is.
playing electric football, or he's not like. Do you know what I mean? The
I agree.
big star.
I completely agree.
And I don't think he needs to play electric football.
He's just there, isn't he?
He just does it.
He's very
does what
similar
he's
to
doing.
what you said about Arsenal flying under the radar.
Yeah.
Because he's not banging in goals every single game because there's other people doing it.
He's the opposite. So you know what you said earlier about Jobberslai, where you think he's been absolutely class, but the stats don't back it up. Salah's the opposite
Oh,
way
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Salah's stats are always immense, and you think he don't even play that well.
Yeah. You look and think, what's he done?
Yeah, but you've got. I think he's like Haaland. You've got to find a way to get him in your team because they're a points machine.
100%.
So
100%.
What have we caught much Champions League football or European football?
I've only watched a bit of Newcastle just purely because of the St James's Park hype, and it just looks good.
I haven't
But
been able to catch any because
Yeah, I've not really watched much.
this year.
There was, I caught a bit of Europe, not I try and watch all Champions League or as much Champions League as I can. In Europe this weekend, English players hitting the ground running. Harry Kane scoring another hat trick, scoring from the halfway line,
I was going to say, did
Yeah,
you see his
saw that.
halfway line one?
Yeah, I
That's
saw that.
amazing.
and Jude Bellingham
Class.
absolutely
Did
bossing.
you see his goal in the Classico?
Yeah.
He's unreal, isn't he?
Yeah,
What is he, like 14 goals in 14 games?
he's
a
That
freak.
far?
yeah, it's ridiculous. He's so good.
He's unbelievable, isn't he? What a player. I'm so good we didn't get him.
Probably better for him that he didn't come to Liverpool.
Oh, 100%. He's
absolutely.
better where he is
Liverpool, they'd
now.
be like, oh,
Yeah.
he can play the League Cup games. Let's get him into it. And
He'll
you're
be,
like, fucking hell.
He'll be Real Madrid captain in 18 months' time.
Do you reckon?
Yeah,
He is
easy.
class.
Because he's so young as well. I think the decision is a smart one, which is you can probably do 6, 7, 8 years at Real Madrid and then come to Liverpool in your late 20s if you
Yeah.
wanted to really play for Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
true. He's done
Even,
the best
even
thing.
if he was at Real Madrid for 10 years and came when he was 30, who cares? It's fucking Jude Bellingham, for Christ's
Exactly.
sake.
Do we have a segment for this pod?
Have you come prepared?
I've got a segment for the end.
Wow.
But before we move on to that, one
Yeah.
last thing. Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
It's a
been a
farce.
shambles
It's a
for
farce,
years.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a farce.
It's a shambles.
And I know I'm biased, but Alisson wasn't even the top 10 of goalkeepers.
It's a fucking stupid, politically driven popularity
Shite.
vote. Probably paid for votes.
Salah, 11th.
So
Not even in the top 10 of players in the world.
should Messi have won it?
Yeah, because he won the World Cup. and he was
Yeah,
the
I get that.
captain.
I don't disagree with the Messi winning it. I think that's fine.
I don't think he was the best player all calendar year,
No.
but you've
No.
won a World Cup. It's a World Cup year.
Yeah.
You're getting the Ballon d'Or.
But then, so on the flip side of that, Haaland finished second.
Yeah.
Yep.
He scored 55 goals last season.
Yep. Won the treble.
Won the treble, Man City.
Yep.
His goals led them to the treble.
Yep.
They've never won the Champions League.
Yep. It's a great shout, but the only problem for Haaland was it's a World Cup year.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
If you want a World Cup
Yeah, yeah.
year,
He'd have
Haaland
won
would
it.
have been
Hands
the
down,
Ballon d'Or.
yeah. 100%. Right, I'm glad we all agree. Okay, so
Clap
Hang
it.
on, do we need a jingle to break into the segment?
Oh no, that's Strictly,
that's
innit?
Strictly. Wow.
All right.
That's the jingle you went to, not Match the Day or anything.
Oh, no, that's casually. Have we got any more jingles that we're doing?
Dum, 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 dum.
That's Grandstand. That's EastEnders.
Oh,
Yeah, I like Family Guy. It's great.
shut up, Meg.
Anyway,
Right.
I think we've established we ain't got a jingle.
So not only have we got a table and like some decorations, we're actually gonna get a bit better with the the jingles and the,
The editing
infills and
skills,
the editing
yeah.
skills.
I'm more shocked that you're prepared.
Well, I've got something for you guys. So you might have seen this before. It's called I think they call it like a blind 7. So it's, if you're a bit on the TikTok scene,
No.
you'll see it where they'll give you, I don't know, the example I used earlier was Friends characters. They'll give you all the Friends characters.
Rest in
God
peace,
rest his soul.
Chandler.
Yeah, Chandler. Yeah, and you've got to then put them in order of 1 to 7, but you don't know who's coming next. So you've got to make a judgment. You don't know who's in that top 7. You've got to make a judgment where they go. Does that make sense?
No.
Yeah, it does. So let's say you pick the best 7 football teams of all time, right? And
Right.
your first choice that comes up is Bayern Munich.
Right.
You've got to
And you
decide.
put them third.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the teams that come through, like Getafe, Santander, you fucked it.
Santander's
It's-
a bank,
It's
innit?
like Racing Santander. Racing Santander.
So
That
you
was
get
one-
it.
that was one for the Spanish fans, by the
Yeah.
way. Racing Santander.
Osasuna.
Barcelona.
Real
Raúl.
Betis.
Raul.
Cadiz.
Moyentes.
John Rahm.
Xabi Alonso.
So this is blind selections. What? All right, go. What's the
Okay.
categories? What's
So-
the theme?
So the category I've chosen is Premier League striker partnerships. So the
Right.
best striker
So
partnerships
you
in
give us
Premier
a
League
first
history.
partnership, and me and him have to agree where we're putting them.
Exactly. And I'm not going to do it in any particular order.
Well, obviously, yeah, because if you're doing them in order, you'd have already ranked them.
This isn't the top 10 wrestling pod again, is it?
In his hornswoggle in this.
That's on
It
his
could
next
be.
one.
You just never know what's going to happen. Right. Okay. First one. Shearer and Sutton.
Top 7.
Yeah. Whereabouts in top 7?
I know.
Shearer and Sutton. Mate, they didn't play long enough together to be like top 2.
I'd say number 5.
Reckon that low?
You think about it, you don't know what's coming in that top 7.
Yeah,
In that case,
the next
number-
one
in that
might be
case, number
fucking
4.
Letitia and fucking Jesper Parnevik.
Oh,
You just don't know, do
I
you?
have to take that one off now.
Number 4. I got number 4.
Let's go 4 for
You're gonna go
Shearer
4?
and Sutton.
Right. So
4.
Shearer and Sutton 4.
They won a title together, didn't they?
Yeah, Blackburn.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the number next to it so we remember what
So
this
they're
is.
4.
Yeah.
Okay. Crouch and Defoe.
7.
They were pretty prolific though.
And they went places. Portsmouth, Spurs.
Yeah, but they won nothing. They were playing for bottom half teams. Yeah, let's go 7.
7. Owen and Heskey.
Didn't really win nothing major, but
6.
yeah,
You're going to go
6.
6.
What do we get if we win?
There is no win really because
It's all
it's
subjective.
all
No.
subjective. Yeah. Phillips and Quinn.
Fucking hell.
We're gonna have to put them in. Have we already used
You've already
5?
done 7th and 6th now, so you
We have to go 5.
Yeah, to be fair though, I'd have said they're a better partnership than Heskey and Owen.
Would you?
Yeah.
and Crouch and Defoe.
Yeah.
Little and large.
Yes.
Well, so was Quinn and Phillips, I imagine.
Yeah. True. 5.
All right.
So we got what we got left. 4.
We've got 3
No,
2
you've done
3 to
4.
1.
You've got
3,
3,
2,
2, 1
1.
now.
They best be good partnerships. These.
Henri and Bergkamp.
Oh, you see.
You've got to go.
I'm gonna
Oh, this is
say I'm gonna
where it
say
gets
number 2
tasty.
because I'm expecting Cole and York to come up.
Okay, let's go 2.
You're going 2.
That's a great partnership though. Bergkamp and
Oh
Henri.
yeah, it's class, isn't it?
Amazing.
Is
I
that
mean,
not
Henri
the,
alone.
Is that not the goat partnership in the Prem? All right, we'll go 2. We'll stick with 2.
You sticking with 2?
We've got
Do you
3 and
want
1
to stick
left.
with 2?
3, yeah.
I mean,
stick with
for
one
me,
left.
Henri's the best striker in that the Premier League's ever had, and
Yeah.
him alone would win the best partnership.
I'm not sure how that works, but
You could put anyone with Henri and it'd still be class, wouldn't it? Okay. Good Johnson, Hasselbank.
Oh, 3.
3.
Shit.
Yeah.
We fucked it here.
No, we're good.
Last pair.
We're
It's
good.
got to be the best partnership of
Call
all
it-
time.
call
So
it-
this is
Col-
what you put as number 1.
This is Cole and York.
Yeah.
Nunes and Salah.
Is that the last one?
No,
Ah.
I just wanted it to be Nunes because of you. No, last one is York and Cole.
Yeah, good
called
shout, yeah.
Yeah?
They're more prolific and they've won more
yeah.
Prems.
Yeah.
So just to recap, then, so at 7 you had Crouch and Defoe.
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. At 6 you had Owen and Heskey.
Maybe have them a bit higher, but yeah, all right.
I'd have
At least
maybe
there's no
flipped them
bias
and-
in this,
I'd
Quinn
maybe
and
flip
Phillips.
them and Quinn and Phillips.
Yeah, so you got Phillips and Quinn at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shearer and Sutton at 4. Happy with that?
What's at 3?
So 3 was Good Johnson, Hasselbank.
No.
Would you flip them?
Yeah, I'd flip them.
Yeah, yeah.
If you could see it, you flip
I'd
them.
flip them, but I won't flip the top 2.
No.
Then we've got them bang on.
Henri
Yeah.
and Bergkamp, York and Cole.
Yeah, yeah. Happy with that?
I'm not sure, you know.
I am.
It's very tight, but I think York and Cole won like 4 Prems.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Henri and
true.
Bergkamp won 1.
If you look at honours and everything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you look at the split of the goals, Cole
Yeah.
and York split the goals
Yeah, yeah.
pretty equally.
Proper partnership.
It was just Henri
Yeah.
with
Bergkamp
Bergkamp's assist.
machine, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
true.
Well, I'm relatively happy with how
Yeah,
that
yeah.
turned
Yeah.
out. Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough.
Good stuff.
Right, okay, we'll do my second one
It's
then.
about time you came prepared because you've done fuck all for the first 12 episodes.
I know, but season 2, you know what? I thought it's obviously sticking around. So, box to box. Have you heard of this game? So I play
You
this in
can't
my.
just make shit up.
So I play this in my group.
I mean,
of
in everything
lads.
technically made up.
Oh yeah,
Well,
someone's
yeah.
made up at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
Every single day we play this. So we play European box to box, and we play a football bingo, and it's absolutely class, right? So what I've done today
Is
is
this, do you do this at work?
I do it before work,
Yeah, yeah.
off work's time.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
class.
Is anyone from Wet
sure.
Watching?
Yeah. So what I've done is a Premier League box to box. So it's a bit like tic tac toe, I think. So essentially, what you've got 3 things across the top and
Tic
3.
tac toe, you a fucking yank.
I don't know. Is it tic tac toe? Or is it
Noughts and
Sudoku or
crosses.
whatever? Anything. Anyway, listen to me. You got 3 across the top and you got 3 down the side, and it's a case of filling the boxes. So, for example, the categories at the top are Tottenham, Man City, and the Euros. And down the left-hand side, you've got World Cup, Wolves, and Villa. So essentially, you have to get someone for Spurs that's won a World Cup, someone for City
I get
that's
it.
won a World Cup, and someone who's won a World Cup and a Euros.
Yeah, I
Right,
get this.
okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you work your way down.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you two this, so you've got the grid, and then you need to say who you think it is, because I've got the digital version on my phone, and I'll put it in and
All
see
right.
if you're right.
I get you.
Yeah?
Okay.
So what's the first
So
box?
I love the way they put the pencil on the fucking
Oh, yeah,
table.
you need to
work out,
write it in,
right?
don't you?
Well, we don't need to
you
write
don't
it
need to
down
necessarily write it, you just
because
shout it
otherwise the
out.
podcast will just be us writing stuff.
All right.
So,
What's the first box, Paul?
Tottenham and World Cup winners.
Jürgen Klinsmann,
Hugo Lloris.
Ozzy Hugo
all right, give me a
Lloris.
chance to write some in then.
Hugo Lloris is a great
I'm
shout.
just gonna
So we were going for Lloris, yeah?
Yeah, we're going for Lloris.
Lloris in there.
I'll tell you if it's right.
Is it right?
Well, it is because he won the World Cup.
Yeah, but did he play for Tottenham at the time?
Yeah.
Or does it
He was
not
at Tottenham
matter?
for
It don't matter. Yeah, so if as long as he's played for Tottenham at
All
some
right,
point.
In that case, yeah, we've nailed that one.
Right. So Man City and World Cup winner.
I can confirm Hugo Lloris is right, by the way.
Thank you.
Normally you have a time limit on this of 3 minutes, but I've not put it as a time limit because I feel it's
So-
unfair for
So
you.
who's won a World Cup that plays for Man City?
Easy.
That played for Man City before.
It doesn't matter.
Or in,
Look who we're
like,
playing from now. It's easy.
Alvarez.
Bernard Mendy. Alvarez, yeah.
Alvarez.
I was going to say.
Oh.
Fresh.
Right,
you say.
okay.
So the last category off this top line is World Cup and Euros.
Is that
So someone who's won a World Cup and a European and the Euros.
Oh.
So it's won both.
David Villa?
Iniesta. Yeah, anyone Spanish.
Iniesta's not on it.
He fucking is because he's won the World Cup and he's won the Euros.
He don't come up.
He scored the winning goal in the World Cup final.
David Villa.
Casillas. Sergio Ramos.
It's a Premier League one, you douche.
What do
Oh,
you
we
mean?
didn't say
So someone in
that.
the yeah, I did. I told you it's a Premier League box.
Did
to
you?
box. Yeah.
I don't
So it's
remember.
someone in the Premier League that's won the World Cup and the Euros.
So some right, okay.
Okay, so is
Also
it
just played in the
David
Premier
Silva?
David Silva, yeah.
Well done. And that's actually got you a Man City and World Cup one as well. So you've got two on that now.
Yeah, we've already
He's
got
filled
them,
two. He's filled two boxes.
but we've already filled the Man City and World
You
Cup
can
one.
get as many as you want.
What's the next box down? Wolves, is
Wolves
that
and
it?
Tottenham.
Yeah, Wolves and Tottenham.
Matt
Who's played
Doherty.
for Wolves
Yeah.
and Tottenham? Great shout. Who's
Yeah.
played for Wolves and City?
Some of this might be some really old. This is why it's good for you guys because you obviously know a little bit of the older stuff.
He don't. He don't know
Well,
past
you both-
2016.
You both are over 50, so
Can we do Villa and Tottenham?
you don't have to do it in order, by the way. You
Oh,
can do
right,
it in
okay.
it, yeah. So you can do
Um,
Villa and Tottenham if you want
So
to do
Villa
that.
and Tottenham. Who's played for Villa and Tottenham? Crouch.
Good shout.
Thanks.
Is Chris going to get involved in this? Or
No,
what?
probably not.
Joking, I named the fucking full top row.
Did you fuck?
Yeah, I did.
Did you name who you're
You just named loads of Spanish players
I named-
that weren't in the Prem.
I named because you did fucking at
No,
any
no, it's
point
true,
say
it's
that
true.
this was a Prem
That is true.
game.
Guys, listen back to this and just put a comment at what time I said this was a Prem box to box.
No one's
'cause
still watching at this point.
No, everyone switched off. Who played for Man City and Wolves?
Man City and Wolves.
Tommy Doyle.
Don't know what the fuck that is.
He's played for Wolves now.
Yeah, but I mean, it's right. Well
Great.
done.
Stick it in.
See?
Didn't know who he was, though.
Fucking knowledge is power, boys.
Wolves and Euros. So you're probably thinking someone Portuguese, maybe?
Jean Moutinho.
Ruben Neves.
Who's the goalkeeper that left?
I don't know the answers to these, by the way. I'm literally typing the same time. So Neves in one.
Jose Sarr.
No, the one before him. Rui Patricio.
Moutinho was right. I'll type in Patricio as well, see if that... Yeah, so that's two.
Okay, so who played for Villa and Man City?
That's
Jack
easy,
Grealish.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I was thinking Milner.
Who played for Villa and won the Euros to complete the game? So who played for Villa and won the Euros? Philip Coutinho, Martinez.
It took me a second then. I was thinking about it going, why is that so funny? And then it clicked. Villa, have they had anyone that's... Euros, you automatically think of like Portugal, Spain. They must have a Spanish player. Who's that one that you bummed at the start of this podcast?
Pau Pedro.
Pau Torres?
Pau
Pau
Torres, yeah.
Torres.
Has he won it?
Probably not. Spain haven't won the Euros.
I thought you said you had the answers to this game.
I was going to
No,
say.
you type them in.
Oh.
Right, okay, right.
So I'm typing into the box to box now and it tells me if I'm right or not. Who else then? Who else won Euros? France? Any French players
Moussa
there?
Diaby.
Steven Gerrard.
I love that Chris is not taking it seriously. He's just saying anything.
Moussa Diaby.
Diaby's not in one
No.
of them now. Tielemans, what's he?
Belgium.
Isn't he? Have they won it?
Nope.
No. Unai Emery.
John Gregory. Brian Little.
Dion Dublin.
Is that all some of the players you know?
Hang on. What year are we in?
Like
2023.
Bonlaha?
So
It's the all time.
All time, yeah.
So
Any player.
Italy won the last Euros, didn't they? In 2021.
Do you know what? I don't really know. Yeah, I'll go with
Yeah,
that.
they beat England in the final.
Oh, of course
Yeah.
they did, yeah.
So
Okay, that's heartbreaking.
who won it in 2016 then? Germany. And then before that was Spain in 2012. Or was it Portugal? I don't know. Someone. Fuck knows. I don't know the last one.
No? We're struggling.
Villa in the Euros.
There'll be people. If anyone's watching this at this point, still, there's probably people shouting out the answers of this.
I can't think of any like Portuguese or Spanish player and stuff that they've had where.
I'm always thinking like goalkeepers.
Oh, fucking dickhead!
Never
Peter,
won the
Peter
Euros.
Schmeichel,
Yeah, Denmark.
Denmark in '92.
So what it does is it gives me the 6 players that have won the Euros and played for Villa, and the one that's given me is Robert Perez.
Fuck it, that's a great shout. Play like 4 games.
Yeah.
But Schmeichel's a good shout.
Schmeichel will be on there, I would imagine. Yeah. If
We
the player comes
we
in,
tried to do that with naming 100 Premier League goalkeepers.
didn't we?
We did
We
that,
did it though.
But
Yeah,
then
we-
I
we
wasn't
did.
going to name 400 defenders. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, it was the 4-4. It was the 4-4-2.
Yeah, I know.
So you had 100 goalkeepers, 400 defenders, 400 midfielders, and 200
And
strikers.
I know that you explained that really well in the group, and yet he didn't listen again. Because you got to defenders and you said 400 and he went, nah, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah, it's true. That'd be a great
All right,
game.
so I
that.
didn't listen to that bit, but how many times did it? Right, we started, we got 40 goalkeepers
Yeah.
in. He fucking turns up and starts naming the goalkeepers we've just fucking
I
listed.
know. Read through the fucking list,
I know.
mate.
To be fair, mate, I looked
Do
at it, I was
some
like,
work.
you're already on 60 something. I was like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just.
But if that was me, I'd have thought, right, they're seeing the rest of this 30, however many out. I'll stay out of it for now, so I don't get in the way.
Yeah.
But I want to be involved, lads. Anyway, that's the end of this segment.
Episode
We need another
1.
jingle. Jingle to segment out.
Episode 1, done.
In the books.
Yep.
We could probably edit most of that segment out. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I
Are
agree.
you not a fan of that segment? Was that shit?
that was a bit dry, that one.
Have you got more plan? Have you got more segments planned for the next 2?
Hopefully not.
No. No, I haven't. Do you know what we should have just done? We should have just done Would You Rathers again.
I mean,
That
to
would
be
have been
fair.
better.
I mean,
wouldn't
I'm
it?
not being funny. A fucking thumb war would have been better than that.
A what war?
Thumb war.
Oh, right, I thought you said something else. I'd be up for that. I'd be up for a bit of jousting to end the pod.
Episode
All
2.
right, in the books.
Ciao.
Cheers,
Peace.
guys.